Thank you. I've wanted to talk with you for a long time, and I noticed after I've been listening to you for probably 15 years, but I started hearing what sounds like voices of my own that sound like
your translation of a vibration into a voice.
Yes. And sometimes because Esther has been such a good model, it even sounds like your voice.
It's logical that it would, because you equate one with the other.
Yes. Yeah. So as it's evolved and I've come to trust it somewhat, I still don't always trust it completely. And it doesn't always sound like Esther's voice, just sometimes. So what I was wondering is, when I'm meditating, which I enjoy so much, and I know you've said like watch the movie and let it go, which I do, there's a part of me that just wants to capture it all. I want to document it. I want to write down everything that I hear, everything that I experience.
There's a little shortage consciousness in that.
Right.
A less shortage consciousness would go like, it's flowing, it always will, I now understand it, whatever I want, whenever I want it. I've opened this, I can calibrate to it. Sometimes I'm better calibrated than others. Just let it evolve for the pleasure of it. We said to Jerry and Esther in the early days, because Jerry was determined to record every word that came out of Esther's mouth, and did. There is a hanger full of recordings. And then we said to them one day, you will need another lifetime to listen to these. And they thought we were kidding, and now they know we were not kidding. The whole point of all of this is, if you think in terms, this is good, especially in the context of this conversation here today, every time you do that, think of it as an opportunity for calibration. It's like the guitarist is going to tune her guitar, and she's going to enjoy this song, but she does not feel a need to capture every note that she plays. You see what we're getting at? It's a wonderful thing to enjoy every note that she plays.
I think because I want to savor it again later, but you're right, that feels like shortage, like it's going to go away or something.
Why savor something that's ongoing? That's like taking a drink of water and you're not talking, and someone says, why aren't you talking? You say, because I don't want to swallow this yet. Why not? Because if I swallow this, it'll be gone. And I want to savor it. I don't want to swallow this.
Okay.
Like there'll never be another drink of water.
Yeah. The other part of clarification that I want, and there's part of me that doesn't want to even need it, but I want it, so what the hell, is there's this part of me that wants validation, and I feel it when I'm in the moment, that no validation is needed.
That's what we were going to say to you. You've already found your validation by saying, I like it so much, I want to savor it, and I want to capture it forever because it feels so good. What better evidence of alignment could one find?
I don't know. So why does the want continue?
Because you're a human.
Oh.
Because you are somewhat still oriented toward needing validation. But you see, you bring to us the exact point that we started with and that we care most about making all day. You want other humans to high-five you when you're being high-fived by your source with the thrill. And so why look for the other validation? Well, because I've looked for it all of my life. That's what humans do. We get good at things so that other people can look at us and say, oh, you're really good at that. And we say, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not wanting you to hold back and not shine. We want you to carry on and kick your feet high and feel glorious about life. And we love it when others are thrilled when they see you do it. But we want the main reason to be, it just feels so good to me when I hook up with Source and kick up my heels.
So the sound of the voice, for lack of a better word, changes. Sometimes it has a masculine sense, sometimes feminine, sometimes group. And I wonder what that is.
I like that, because what that means is you understand that it's a stream of consciousness, and that there are many voices in this family of teachers that you're tapping into. And different questions that you care about could be eliciting different resources.
So is there a feeling of that validates it within, that makes it that I can be sure. I know when I reread the words later that they're clearly not mine, and I feel very confident about that. That might also be part of why I like writing it down, because in the moment it doesn't seem very important.
Well, they are your words. They are your words because you've translated a vibration into those words. And this is a process whereby you're getting better and better and better at that. But the main point to focus on is not the words that you are interpreting. It's the vibration that you have discovered. It's the vibration that you've calibrated to. That's what you want to celebrate. For most people, they'll calibrate to this vibration, and the only explanation or validation of that calibration that will come to them will be in the form of emotion. That's enough. But sometimes those like you or those like Esther, when the emotion is present, want to put words around the emotion. Just know that the emotion is enough. And if you want more, you can have more. In Esther's case, it wasn't her asking, it was Jerry's. Jerry knew that they had tapped in to something profoundly exciting to him. And it was the power of his desire that kept summoning it, because he and Esther were identical vibrations. They'd been calibrating to one another for many, many years. They were calibrated to one another before either one of them was born. That's what soulmates are, is those of you who are of the same frequency, and you come forth intending to find one another again and renew your calibrations, you see. And so Esther had the advantage of him doing the summoning, which is leading us to the next important point, and that is, if you've got a question, the vibration of the question is different than the vibration of the answer. So if you're calibrated in very fine terms to your question, you're not going to hear the answer as well. That's why you want to put some distance between. Let life form the questions within you, and then sit with an inactive question, your inner being knowing what your questions are, and your inner being will flow answers to those questions. But if you sit to receive with your list of questions, you cannot be in the step 1 mode of asking and the step 3 mode of receiving at the same time.
Well, that might explain why sometimes the answer comes and then I think, oh, that must be the question, was the answer came before.
You have too much in your head about this.
Okay. I do, I know. Gosh, how do I not
It's all
do
right.
that?
It's all right, because think about it. We don't want you to be hard on yourself about it. You're translating through that part of your brain. So of course that part of your brain is going to be sort of kind of active. We're just asking the same thing of you relative to this as we're asking of everybody relative to not needing physical approval. Look for your non-physical harmony. Calibrate to non-physical rather than to the physical. You're doing really well. Just have fun with it. There's nothing serious going on. You're not here to save the world. You don't need to write the last book that will ever be written. Unless it's fun to write a book, then write it. We want to find a way that you can hear us and know it when we say it, but of course that defies everything else that we've already said here this morning. It's not our job to make you get it. It's only our job to get it. So we get it, and if you want to get it, come and get it. So we've enjoyed this interaction. More than words can explain to you, but maybe you're getting some of the feeling of it when you tune in to who you really are, and you translate the feeling, the vibrational frequency of your inner being back into your physical consciousness. The emotions feel like love and stability and clarity and elation and well-being. We know for sure that you are in a different vibrational place than you were when we began. And we know for sure that your point of attraction is shifted, and that the evidence of that will be all around you. We know that you've intellectually understood this, but we ask you not to try to remember it, because this isn't an exercise in memory. This is an exercise in having calibrated there, so it will be easier to do it again. There's no homework and there's nothing to fuss about with this. Life experience is going to help you to the next and the next and the next. You're doing extremely well, and we are eager about what is coming next for you, because what comes next for you comes next for us as well. There is great love here for you, and for now, we are complete. good. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.